Okay, thank you for joining us for this webinar number 5 of our series of 8. This one is all about bookings and managing reservations. So after you've done all that hard work of getting the event, getting the hotels on, loading the hotels and the event into the PBA, and also then marketing that PBA, getting it out there, which we've done on these videos on each series of getting it out there and getting the publicity so we can start to get some eyeballs, and then, you know, doing some analytics on that and then kind of repeating that process. This is now all about what happens when the bookings start coming in. And I know some of you on this broadcast from all over are experiencing this for the first time. Some have been dealing with this for some time already. And so this may serve as a way of just sharpening some of those and reminding you, others coming in for the first time, this is what's coming next. So you should be following this in order of video presentation. I'm going to try and break this down as simplistically as possible. And the reason is because I want to start to build a foundation on top of this. I want to build a wall of options that you have when you do bookings. So there are 2 types of bookings. Let's start there. Firstly, you get bookings via the website. So via the website means either they come through the front end. If you've got a public booking website active, great, they come through, they make a booking. If they come through the PBA, it's also considered a website booking. Okay, so wherever they're coming in through a front door, the front door meaning the website, it's a website booking. Manual bookings, on the other hand, are when you, for example, get a telephone conversation, you have a telephone conversation with someone and you want to enter it into the system to generate a confirmation and to record the booking, then that's a manual booking. If you're doing a group at once, and I don't mean a PBA type group where you've got the rates and you're attracting multiple bookings into that PBA, which essentially is called a group. If we're actually talking traditionally a group of 50 people, 150 people, and you don't need a PBA, but you want to enter it in to be invoiced and everything else, then you go through the manual booking process. So we're really going to discuss those 2 types of things today. Okay, so website bookings are when the guest books online via either the public or the PBA, so we all know what that looks like now. The booking automatically reads the room availability status, okay? And that's the status that we have set up in the edit hotel area. So if we go back a couple of videos ago and we start looking at how we add rates into the system under the hotels video, and we'll look at that briefly. When someone comes in publicly to book and they see availability on the screen, it's reading directly out of that calendar of availability that you've set up one way or another, whether you do it like a public booking system or you do it on a PBA. The confirmation is generally always then emailed to the guest because it's read the availability. As long as the availability says available or there's an allocation of rooms, the confirmation will automatically be emailed from our system with a set template that it uses, and it sucks in the terms and conditions and it sucks in the booking and it brings their name, everything together on a document and sends it out at the same time as they make their booking. Within seconds, they should receive that. If it's a pending booking, so if the availability status is set to pending, on request, I should say, we view it when it comes to us as what we call pending. Okay, so that's the same as saying on request. We've discussed different ways in the past that we'd have a request booking, such as very low availability, rather than hold availability in the system. So we might make a mistake if we show availability and we're not sure and it's last minute and the hotel may sell their rooms, what can happen is we can end up booking rooms that we're going to have to unbook, okay, because we sold availability we shouldn't be doing. So what we do is when our allocation runs out, if it's close to the time when we can't get more allocation, we can put the hotel on request and put a nice big sign up there saying, look, this is on request, you can still make a booking, but we do have to check availability at the time of the booking, and then we'll get back to you if it's available, or we'll give you an alternative hotel, or we'll look for an alternative hotel that we can offer you. And that's a great way of doing it because it still encourages a booking, and it's better to have the booking even if it's pending and not confirmed yet, so that you can do something with it, than just discourage the client and send them off elsewhere, because that's the other alternative. They'd go and book it somewhere else. So you want to try and capture them still, and on request do that. And when it comes in, it's called pending, because it's pending you're checking the hotel. At that point, it does not email that to the hotel, and I'll discuss that more in a minute. So it's something important to note. The hotel hasn't got the notification because we don't want them to think it's a booking. We want to call them or email them and explain, do you have this available? Generally, it's good to do that very quickly. These things you should do very quickly, because if you put yourself in the customer's shoes, they don't want to be hanging on too long. What too long? Well, that depends on the customer, to be honest. You know, it's there's no real rule for that as such, but the sooner if you can get to that within an hour, fantastic, you're winning a customer. If it's 24 hours, it's still doable because they think they're booked and they're waiting for you to come back. They won't be booking anything else because of the screens we show them, and I'll show you those screens because it puts them into a holding situation that they know they could get charged if they cancel, if it's confirmed, because it's pending your decision. Just don't try not to leave them too long. All right, so this is a bit of a reminder about the hotel allocation or availability screens, and I've merged 3 screens into one here. Hopefully that comes out clear enough on your systems. So the one that is here is the bulk rate editor. So you can do lots of dates at a time very easily. And you set your availability there, and then you can view it and make quick little changes there in the calendar. And when you're adding it on the bulk rates system, or even in there, it asks you if you want to put it on request, or if you want to make it available, or it's just not available. You can block it completely so that definitely no bookings will happen, or you can allocate 1 room, 2 rooms, and so on, just by putting it on that setting. So what happens is when people come onto the website, the dates they put into the system read this availability that you've set up because you got given the contract from the hotel, or if they're using a channel manager, they've been able to upload and manage that. It sets up that availability, and then that's when it spits out a confirmation, or automatically emails them a confirmation. Or if you've set it on request, because you know there's not much availability, then it's going to put it into that holding pattern. Okay, so guest books online, we've all seen this. So on this screen, they've put in their dates. Okay, in here, they've put in the number of nights, they've found the room, they've seen a good rate, great, 150 usually, they're only paying 79, they say 47%. However, it is on request, okay? So that's where it says on request. That is the room status, okay, that you would have set. And so when they book it, okay, once they go through, it's written there, okay, when they go through, and sorry, this is what it looks like if it says it's available. It says they're available. So hopefully you can see that okay. available or on request. So 250 a night, 170, save 30%, but it's available. So you can go and book it. All right. Now, the guest then goes through and makes their booking by filling out the form. And I hope you've all done this as a bit of a test for yourself. You do need to use a credit card, but if you do a test booking, just make sure in Edit Hotel that you remove the hotel's email address and you add your own. Then you can see the email that the hotel is actually going to receive. It's a good way of testing the system. And then the booking goes into the system. You get a confirmation as if you're a client. So it's always very good. But the system doesn't charge the cards. Okay, it only transfers the information. So if you use your card, you can change the security code here. You don't have to use your security code, but you need a number that's close to one that's real. So you can play around with 1 or 2 digits, but generally it's not checking the card, but it wants to make sure it's as close to a real card as possible. Otherwise, the hotel gets a dud card and they're not going to be happy if they have to charge a penalty for someone who doesn't show up. The onus is on them to actually check it, though. I should say that it's not on us to check it, but our system tries to make it as close to a proper card as possible by rejecting almost fake cards. So anyway, you'd fill that out and process the booking, and the confirmations come through. Now, the next screen that the guest sees, okay, is this screen. In fact, they all see this screen, whether it's on request or it's confirmed. This is the screen, a bit like a thank you page, that they see after they've made the booking. And we've tried to make it very, very clear to them on this, and you should read this. There's their reference number. This is not a confirmation. Your booking is now being processed. Please do not consider any booking confirmed until you've received an email. What to do next? Okay. Please wait for your confirmation email. We will always reply to your bookings. However, technical problems with your internet service provider or filters may divert your reply. If you have not heard from us within 24 hours, you must contact Hotels TV under default or the hotel directly. Failing to follow up on your request may result in bookings being made without your knowledge and penalties applied for not showing, no-show, for the booking. Penalty charges are usually equivalent to one night's booking, however, are at the discretion of the hotels. Then it goes on to explain that available status bookings will be confirmed immediately. On request, will be replied back to you by a customer service agent, which is you, during working hours. Within 24 hours, usually only a few hours after opening hours commence. Your hotel status is displayed on screen during the booking process next to the room type. So we're trying to give you as much leeway as possible, but at the same time commit the guest so that they're booked, they're waiting for us now. They're not going to go, oh, I never received anything. This is not an email. This is the screen that they should be reading, and the terms and conditions say that we're assuming that you've read this screen, okay? Because it's going to be right in front of you as a thank you. So it gives you time to be able to do that. This is important for you to know and to be able to read as well. Now, the guest on an on-request booking receives this email. So this is the email. Your booking has been received. This is not a confirmation, and it goes through and it tells them again. So not only on request has it given them the thank you page with the explanation on it, but it's also given them an email. So between two, you would hope that they've received one of them and taken note of at least one. So this is the way we cover our backs in the booking side of things to make sure. So it even gives contact details and bits and pieces and ways to get hold of us and everything through there. So, but sit tight and we'll be back in touch. So then the onus is on you to get back to them, knowing they're waiting now as quickly as possible. Okay, so what happens is the agent, you, receive this confirmation. Well, once again, it's not a confirmation, it's a pending booking. So it comes into you saying pending, and it's written there. This booking has been pending or is pending. Okay, it's got all the details of the booking here. It's got all the hotel information there and the rate and everything that you need, number of rooms, type of room, name of the guest, and down at the bottom will be the credit card details that you will need to be able to process this booking. They come into you through this format. Okay, I've blanked this out, but this will have all your numbers right down here. Okay, and expiry date. That's what. But now this has come in as an email into your inbox. Okay, and you set these email addresses in your edit destination. So where you set your PBA up and it asks for the CC email to go to, this is who it goes to, and this is why you put your details there, because this is the stuff that you want. Okay, you want to receive all this. Okay, so then what you want to do once you've received that is you want to click this blue link. Okay, we've made it as easy for you as possible. When you click this blue link, you're going to miraculously go into the admin system directly to the page of the booking with your customers' details there. This is our CRM, if you like, our customer relationship management tool. And this you will see, okay, and it might be a little bit small for you to completely see, so you can see this when you go into your booking screen as well, your hotel booking screen. You will have the name of the guest. They will be allocated automatically with a C number or a customer reference. There was the name, phone number, email address. You can actually add addresses and other contacts into that just by going and editing this section here. And underneath, it details every booking associated with this guest, okay, underneath. And this is the screen that you manage your reservations through. Every customer, every guest has their own admin area or reference number as a customer. And then under that customer, either they will already have bookings or you will add bookings. And over here is a way of adding a booking. And that's what we use for the manual booking. All right. So, and I'll show you in a little bit how we add a customer if they're not already in the system and you haven't actually received an email. There is a manual way of going in and creating the customer. But for right now, we're going to assume this customer's come through the website, okay, made a booking, whether it's confirmed or it's pending, being on request, it comes in the same way. You get an email, you click on the link, you come in. This one happens to be pending, and if you have a look, there's a legend at the bottom, okay, which has got pending, confirmed, auto-confirmed, and lots of other choices. My circle is really bad there. Green is confirmed, auto-confirmed. Now, just to explain what that is, pending we know is on request. Okay, that's fine. That's an easy. Confirmed is after we've actually booked it in our system. So if it's come in, and what we'll do is we'll check the availability and we can see that it's confirmed. The hotel said it's confirmed, and we want to deliver a confirmation to the guest and to the hotel, which we do in the administration box below, okay, which is this area here, okay. We do it all through using these buttons, which you'll see in a minute. That's how we process the booking. Then the status will change to dark green once we've done that. that means it's confirmed. If the booking came in through having availability already set in the system, and the customer was confirmed the second that they booked because the availability was there, then it would be red right now, and that would be considered auto confirmed. So there's nothing really to do except check with the hotel. The confirmations have gone out, but what we're dealing with at the moment is an on request booking, which means it's come in pending and we have to confirm this booking. Okay, and the details of the booking are here as well. Okay, so the details of the booking, it's got family room, it's the nights, number of people, it's got the rate down here as well. And there is a button over here called Edit. Now, you can edit this. You can add new names onto that booking if it was a family room or a larger room and you wanted to put the guest names. If you wanted to do anything like that and edit the booking, change the number of nights, change the room type, change the dates, you could actually do it all through the edit. And then you save it and come back to this screen and you will see the new booking, which then you can do the administration on and send automated emails to the client, which is the guest, and to the hotel, which is the company set into this system. So hopefully you're starting to get a bit of a feel for the way this is done. Okay, so we've got a client first, then we've either added a booking or the client's made the booking on the outside of through a website. The bookings come into the system and now we can edit it, manage it, send a confirmation and do the things from this screen as well. Okay, if it was an available booking, okay, and that's what I said auto confirmed is, okay, so it would be red when it comes into us. If it's available, the confirmation will automatically, okay, be emailed to the guest as per the booking details that the guest already provided, to the hotel, to the contact details that you added in to the edit hotel section, to you, where you've added your email details into the CC area of the edit destination. Okay, so that's the event is the edit destination screen. The hotel is under the edit hotel screen. So hopefully you're starting to get a feel from playing around with the system through the previous videos. And Hotels TV get a copy of the booking that's sent to reservations at hotels.tv. Sometimes we will add in a Gmail address. So you might see an odd Gmail address in there. It might be called something like Blinkton@Gmail or Hotels01. We use that as a double checking process in case anything happens with Hotels TV's email addresses for whatever reason. We back it up by getting it through on a Gmail address directly too. So that's where an auto confirmation. So that's when the customer comes onto the website, it says available, they've done a booking, boom, all the confirmations are sent out and it's gone into the system automatically. And as you see down the bottom, the screen at that point says available. All right, nice and easy. And that's ideally what you want. But in certain circumstances, you will use on request, such as short availability and those sorts of things, or maybe exclusive rooms like a penthouse or an apartment or something that there's only one of, that it makes it very difficult to put any availability, but you'd still like to be able to offer it to a guest. They can be really unique properties as well. It could be a house or a villa. So on request actually is a really, really valuable function, even though it might take a little bit more manual work to do. Okay, when it's available, the guest sees this, okay? As I showed you before, on the left is the thank you page, okay? And once again, even if it's available, we still say this is not a confirmation, okay? Because the confirmation, and it's got all the other details about what availability status is and on request, but we deem it, even though it happens instantaneously on available, we give ourselves that split second opportunity there to have the confirmation sent out automatically. Okay, your booking is confirmed. So this is the email that the customer receives from an available booking. So it's a nicer HTML version of the confirmation with our logo on it. It's got the reference of the customer, it's got the hotel details, it's got the booking reference there, and the contact details of the hotel. We give them the phone number of the hotel, the check-in, the check-out time, the breakfast that's included, and then they can even go straight to the hotel's page and look at the information there. And there's a thank you down the bottom, and that's where your user signature comes in. So that'll say from you. So that'll say, thank you, kind regards, Harrison Brown, written at the bottom there, and a contact. That's what they receive by email. Everything's done. There's still another step after that. We still want you, even though you've received and it's in the system, and I'll show you this later on in this broadcast, you still need to get the confirmation from the hotel to make sure everything's been received, but the rest of it's all automated and done. Okay, now what do you see as the agent from an available booking? Well, once again, as I said before, you get an email confirmation, which is this one here. Now, it will actually say confirmed there. This is confirmed, not actually pending. That will say confirmed there as well. So you will know from the email if it's been confirmed, and that will tell you automatically that the availability has been there, and it's red because that will say confirmed. You've got all the other details. Once again, you've got the blue link, that blue hyperlink. All you need to do is click on it, and you will then go into this area here in the admin system. Okay, once you're in the admin system, you'll be able to see that that will actually be red. That will say auto confirm. So you will know it's done. All right, it's done. So that's nice and easy. Hopefully you understand that part. Okay, now when you want to view and process your bookings, okay, when you want to find them, the easiest way is to log into your admin screen. Okay, so you've got your logins, you've been into this screen. You won't see all these options because this is my master list, but you'll see destinations there. You'll see a lot of these customers, hotel bookings, incomplete ones there, hotel invoices. You might even see partial bookings, which I'll explain. You can look for this booking under a couple of different ways. If you already know the customer's details, then you would just go into customers and you could search that booking by name. If you want to search bookings by hotel and by dates and different things like that, you just click straight into the hotel bookings there. Incomplete hotel bookings, amended hotel bookings, and cancelled hotel bookings, okay, are what we call a confirmation state. So once the booking's been done, if you click in and you see these incomplete bookings, they haven't yet been assigned with a number from the hotel. So it means the booking's been done, it's confirmed, it's gone through the system, it's emailed the hotel, but we haven't received an email back yet from the hotel. So we want to check to make sure it didn't go to their spam folders or they haven't lost it, and to make sure they've now got control of that booking. When they email back a confirmation number, their own confirmation number, our system gives us our confirmation numbers. When we get the actual confirmation back, even though it was available and it was auto-completed and everything else, we get a number back from the hotel. That means the booking is now their responsibility. We don't have to worry about it anymore. We can go ahead and invoice it. Unless the client comes back to us and we want to amend the booking or something like that, which I'll show you how to do, it is now the hotel's responsibility as long as we've got that number. In the incomplete hotel booking screen, the amended hotel booking screen and the cancelled hotel booking screen, these are there for each stage of that booking so that you can get that number from the hotel and put it into that page and press save. Once you've done that, it takes it off the incomplete page. So therefore you don't have to worry about it anymore. So it's a checking process for you. You can double check everything. You go into the incomplete stage. If you see a booking on that page at all, it means you don't have the hotel's confirmation number yet. So you just need to chase up the hotel or look in your emails, and you should find the confirmation number sent by the hotel, enter it into the system, and it's done. Hopefully that's pretty clear how we use those systems. So those three there are really your double checking process. They avoid things like missed bookings or lost emails by the hotel and clients turning up at the hotel desk to no booking. That's what they're there for. It's a slightly manual process. It doesn't take long, but it saves a lot of issue. And it ensures that you're on top of your bookings, which is really important. Okay, all this, once it's confirmed, goes into the hotel invoices, and we'll discuss them another time later, but it's very simple. We do the invoicing. It compiles everything and dumps it into one place for us. It makes it very, very easy. Partial bookings, okay. If you have anything on your partial bookings screen, okay, and if we go back here, when the guest first booked, the first page they book on is called Traveler Details. Okay, that's the first page, and then they enter their email address, their name, telephone number, and how many guests are staying in the room. This is before they get to the payment stage. If they've pressed go and they've got to the payment page and they've not completed the payment, right, and they've left, so they've not completed the booking. It is not a booking until they send that payment detail page. If they've just done that page and not this page, then what happens is it goes into that partial booking screen. So you can then contact that guest and you can say, you started your booking process, but you didn't complete the booking because you've got their email address and you've got their telephone number. Can I ask why? You know, did you not have a card on you at the time? Did you change your mind? Is there something you were not sure about? And just that little process, that little personalization can win you that booking. Okay, so if someone goes halfway, we've all done it. We've all gone halfway through a form and then left. And then, you know, what's happened is nothing's happened, basically. You know, no one's contacted us. We've gone and booked somewhere else. We're a customer. This is your customer, so it gives you the opportunity to follow that up and just see if you can win that customer by contact. And you don't have to worry about the rest. Okay, but that's it. So that's how you search and you find your clients. Really, everything is in that hotel booking screen there. This is the one you should spend a lot of time in, and it should show you. When you go into that hotel booking screen, this is what it looks like. You've got various ways of searching. So you can actually search by pending, confirmed, or if you just click all over here on the side, it's a short, you're ticking everything. Just click all, and then around here is a search button, which is just off the screen. Click search, and it'll bring up what you can see here, all your pendings, all your confirms, and all your auto confirm bookings. For data protection reasons, I've actually blocked out the customer's details, but these are real bookings and real events. Okay, so you've got the name of the event or the destination, which is here. You've got the hotel, you've got the type of room, you've got the status of the booking and what you need to do with it, the date of arrival, number of guests, number of nights, number of guests, number of bookings, number of rooms, and the total rate actually at the hotel. And the total, there'll be a total down at the bottom, the total gross value that they're spending at the hotels. And then broadly, if you want to check your commissions, you can work out 10 or 15% of that figure there to kind of estimate your commissions that you're going to earn during that month. So that's the arrival date, and then you have a booking on date. But up the top here, you can search by all these things. So if you just want to search your one event to see how well that went, you just go into the drop-down box and you search the Quan British Open, for example. You know, you would search that in there, and all it would do is bring up, it would filter out those results. So there's lots of different things. The rows, you can search by arrival date, or you can search by the date it was booked on. That's what created date is booked on. Arrival is obviously the day they're arriving, which is this one over here. The booked on is over this side. All right, so this should be one of your favorite screens. Now, you can click on, there's lots of shortcuts in this system. So from here, you can click on this link here, which is the event, and you can go straight to your PBA area where you edit your PBA. If you click on the hotel, you go straight to the hotel that's set up within your PBA. And this first screen, which you can't see, the first one is the customer's name. And if you click on the customer's name, you go into that booking screen, which is the same link that was on the blue link that I showed you before, which is here at the top. When you click that, you go into that. And when you click the name in the booking screen, you also go into the customer's details. So once you start using this, you'll see that it's pretty intuitive, I hope you find, that everything's connected together, and everything, once you're in a booking, it maps. Now, if it's a pending booking, even the phone number of the hotel comes up here where it says phone. All right, so this is made so that if you get a pending booking, it comes in, you click on the blue link, you open this screen, the phone number's right in front of you, you pick up your phone, you call, you check availability, it's available, you're on the same screen, you can now go and confirm the booking. Look down the bottom in the administration area, which is here. Okay, this is the admin area down the bottom. Mail client is the guest. Forget fax company because no one faxes anymore. Mail company is the hotel. A status box is what you have here. You select what you want to do. So if you want to confirm the booking because you've just called the hotel and it's available, you highlight confirmed. You're mailing the client. So the first screen is you're going to send a confirmation manually to the guest through this system. And here it says mail client. You click that and it's going to send an email. It's going to show you what the email is first, so you get to read the email, but it's going to show you. So if you wanted to cancel that booking, you would do the same thing. If you wanted to amend the booking, you would change it by editing the details over here on the right-hand side, saving that screen, coming back to this page, and then you would send an amended confirmation to the guest and to the hotel. All right, so hopefully you're starting to see how it works. The booking's made and a confirmation can be sent if it's not automatic. If it's already automatic, you don't have to do any of this. Okay, if it's auto-confirmed, it's done. The only thing you have to do is get the number from the hotel, and you can enter the number in to this edit screen over here. Okay, and that's fine, it's done. If you want to then confirm this booking because it's come in as pending, the phone number's there, you call the hotel, check availability, you then highlight or click on the mail client, you confirm it, you can even write any notes in this box here. Okay, if you want to type something that yeah, welcome, we've booked this for you, blah, 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 whatever you want. Or if someone's asked, can they have an upgrade? You can write in this area, yes, subject to availability, check with hotel reception when you check in. Any of these notes that you want on that confirmation email, you can write in there. And then you click mail client, you read it, and you send it, and it's gone. The customer's done. Okay? Now, whatever you do to the customer, you must do to the hotel. Okay? You cannot tell a customer that their booking is booked and not send a confirmation to the hotel even after you've called them, okay? Because the customer will then turn up at the hotel, but the hotel hasn't got a booking for them, and we don't want that. Okay? So whatever you do to one, you do to the other. If you call the hotel and email the hotel first, you then need to email the customer. If you do the customer first, you then need to do the hotel. Both of them need confirmations. And you would do the same. You would then highlight mail company, which is the hotel. Okay, you would then select confirmed. You would actually do a couple more things. You would actually copy and paste the credit card details into that payment details area here, and any notes you want, maybe the client wanted an upgrade or they wanted a sea view or something like that, you would then put into that section, and then you would mail the hotel, which is email the hotel. So it's exactly the same. So you've got the booking, you confirm it to the client, which is the guest, or to the hotel, which is the company. And both confirmations and templates are sitting behind this page. So I hope you understand that. And once you use it a couple of times, you'll start to get the feel of it. Now, when you click on this edit button over here to edit the booking, which is here, that's the whole booking. Okay, if you want to edit the booking or you want to add a confirmation number in, you go and click that edit button there, and it takes you to this screen. Okay, this is what I was saying before. When you amend a booking, you edit a booking, even, I'll show you later, even when you add a booking, you're adding it on this screen to a blank client. So a client's just come in, you add the booking, and I'll show that in a minute. So in this screen, it already gives you our hotel reference. So remember, on the previous screen, the customer has their own reference number. That's the customer. And for every booking that that customer has, each booking has a unique reference number as well. But the hotel also has their own, as we spoke about before. So to make sure that we know that the hotel is going to be responsible for that, we have a hotel reference number. So you type the hotel reference number in there. Sometimes in small hotels, they may not give you a reference number. You might just have to put the person's name in there. So if it was Sophie that you spoke to, you would type Sophie in there. Okay? And then you save it, and then you've always got that as a reference. If you amend the booking, so after you've booked it and it's all confirmed, if the client then comes back to you again and you go into the client's profile and you want to change the number of nights or the rate or the room or the number of guests, you then do the same thing. So you go back to this screen, and instead of you edit the booking, obviously you change the booking on this screen and you save it down the bottom. And then you go back to this screen and you select now, amended, which is under that green writing. There's an amended tab. And then you email a copy of the amendment to the guest, and you email a copy of the amendment to the hotel. Whatever you do to one, you do to the other. Whatever status you change, you must confirm to the guest and you must confirm to the hotel. So you confirm it once to make the booking in the first place, and you send a confirmation to the guest and one to the hotel. If you go back in and you change something, you then have to notify the hotel. If you're extending the number of nights, you actually need to call the hotel to check that the availability is okay. the availability might be in our system, so then you don't have to check. Okay, so when you extend the availability, if you know the availability is in the system, you don't have to check with the hotel. But if there's no availability, you're not sure, check with the hotel. Then you come back to this screen, and now you send the hotel the amended confirmation, and you send the guest the amended confirmation to them. If you then want to cancel a booking, okay, you do the same thing. You don't need to notify the hotel by phone necessarily straight away. You do because you're going to get a cancellation reference later. But you would then select cancelled, and you would email the cancellation to the hotel, and you would email a cancellation to the guest. Whatever you do to one, you do to the other in every single stage of the booking. And they're really the main 3 stages that we need to deal with. The other 2, forget, that are on that drop-down box. It's either confirmed, cancelled, or amended. That's it. Nice and simple, okay? And the way you do it is by getting into the guest, viewing their booking, and going into the edit screen to do any changes that you need to make. Okay, then you're just confirming it to both parties. That's all. So you can change the date. Now, just there's little clues everywhere. If you're changing the number of nights, you just have to change the date to the arrival date and departure date, and the system will calculate it. You can change the rate there. If you have a rate change, you can change it there. Number of rooms, number of people. If it's a double room, it could have 2 people in it. You could change that. All this sort of status can be changed. When you get the cancellation reference back from the hotel, you enter it in there. If you've got an amended reference, you would add it there, but most of the time, the amended reference will actually be the same as the hotel reference. But if you've amended it, it's good practice just to add the confirmation that you get again to as soon as you know that the hotel has received the amendment. Okay, so the hotel still needs the confirmation of the amendment to update their own system, and you still need to know that they've got that amendment to make sure that it is updated in their system. So hopefully it becomes clearer as we do. So it's the same process for each stage. The number of guests, so you can write more guests in there because hotels love room lists. If you've got 10 people to book in, 5 double rooms, that the hotels want to know which name they're going to book it under. Because sometimes if you go back to this, if you're booking a group, the lead name might be the number 1 name up here, but each room, when you go into it, will have their own list. And this is where you put the names of the room guests, because this also prints on the confirmation that's sent to the hotel. So if they ask for a guest list, you would do it there. You don't need to email them separately. You come into here, you do that, you save it, and then you send the confirmation to the hotel again with the room list on it this time with some notes. Okay, you can even write comments in there. All right, so hopefully that's fairly clear. So, as I said before, when you want to amend or confirm, you go into that customer booking screen and you dot. If you've got you can sometimes have many bookings on the one screen, and you just need to use the dot to pick the one you want to amend and email and edit. Okay, so make sure the dot's in the one you want to edit and work on, essentially. So this is what an auto confirm should look like in your system. Nice and red means everything's done. The only thing we need to do is go back and add the confirmation into the hotel ref box in there. That's all we have to do. Then with an auto confirm. As a booking rule, okay, whatever you do to the guest, you do to the hotel. If you confirm one to the other, I think you've got that now, amend and cancel. If you book a guest, you confirm to the hotel. If you amend or cancel a guest, you send an amendment or cancellation to the hotel. I just want to make sure that's really, really clear, because it's really important that you understand that any adjustment to that booking needs to be, that message needs to be conveyed to both the guest and the hotel. Okay, When you do a manual booking, all right, so we've already talked about automated bookings or website bookings. So when people come through making a website booking, they're already a customer. When you go on that blue link, they're already inside the system. Nice and easy. But what happens if someone's just called you and they said they wanted to make a booking, they haven't gone through the front end of the website, you want to add it in manually, okay? Or maybe there's a group, so you don't need a PBA. You might not even have enough availability on a PBA for what they want. You've picked up the phone and called the hotel. They've said, yes, send the booking over. Don't start typing an email to the hotel. That's messy, and you can't record it. Put it into the system. This system was created so that you can record everything and action everything from this one portal. Very, very important. Okay, so you click customer. So we're going to create a customer. That is the customer link there, the very first one. You click customer. Okay, then you add the customer's details. Type their name, their phone number, their email address. Just fill out the fields. Okay, then the customer is created and it looks the same as the screen that we just worked on before. When you've created that customer, this will not be there. It'll just be blank. All you'll see is the customer. You will not see this booking because it has no booking. All right, it won't be there. You'll just have the customer at the top. Okay. Now, as I said before, what I want you to understand is that when you're doing multiple bookings or you're doing a group, okay, there's one booking there, but your page could actually look like that. Okay, and it could end up, by the time you've added these bookings to that one customer, it could either look like that with one, or it could look like that with many, which is it's a wonderful way of being able to look at the profile of your customers and how many bookings they've done with you over time. It's really valuable. But if they come in all at once as well, they're going to look like this, and you have to process each one of them individually. So you put your dot in the use box, and that means you're now working on that one. You can then go and edit that booking here, or if it's fine, you just go down here, you click on whether you're going to send an email to the guest or you're going to send an email to the hotel, and you change the status to confirmed or amended or cancelled, the same way you did it before. Now, if there is no booking there for that client, okay, you will click on Add Booking. All right, now let's go back a bit. Add Booking is over here. All right, so hopefully you can see that. Add Booking, Add Hotel Booking is right there. So there's no, let's assume there's no bookings on that page. You've created the customer, which is pretty simple, name, phone number. Click on Add Booking. It brings you to this page. Now you'll recognize this page because it's the same page you looked at when the booking was created already, where you could enter a hotel reference. It's the same page. It just won't have anything filled in. How do you fill it in? You go and click on the Find Rates button right there. And when you click on that, the first thing that comes up, it wants to know what destination you are wanting to search within. So remember, this only works if you've already got the availability set up in the system through your PBA, through adding a hotel, you know you've got rates availability. If you haven't done that, this won't work. You can't add a booking until you've already set that up. So as long as you've set it up, you then go searching for the destination, whether it's a particular event. We've used Quan as an example, which is the martial arts event in the UK. We're using the British Open as an example. You would then click on that link for the British Open, and then it will open this screen. And this then asks you okay, you've now shown us which destination you're in. Now about a hotel. Which hotel did you want to book? And so if you click the hotel that you want to book, you then add your dates that you'd like to arrive, and it shows you what room types are available, and it shows you the rate. And you click on it. As soon as you click on it, all these fields here will be populated with the information that you've already set up within the PBA when you first start. All right, so hopefully that's pretty clear. Number one, click on Find Rates. Number two, locate the event. Number three, find the hotel, the room, and the rate, and click Save, and it populates here, which we'll call number four. Then you save it, which is the button down here somewhere. Okay, that's the Save button down there. You make sure you save it, and then you go back to this particular screen, okay, the customer screen. What I've done, I've blown up the section for you, so it might look a little bit odd compared to what we looked at because I've enlarged the center. So then, once you've set that up, you do the same thing that we spoke about before. You dot the hotel that you want to work on, go and mail the client, you put it in as confirmed or cancelled or whatever you're doing, and then you either mail the company. Okay, and you do that separately. In here is where the notes go. If you're emailing the customer, just remember who you're doing, because you do one at a time, and you email the client and the hotel separately. You need to do this one for each. You can't just do it once and it does it to both, because you're sending a different message to the hotel than you are to the guest. So you've got to do one at a time. Now, once you've done that, you can add in any notes. Now, have a look down the bottom here. There is a log. Every time you go and you amend or confirm the booking, it logs your activity in the system. So if you ever have any issues and you want to know whether you actually log that or not, or you can't remember, it's automatically recording your action so that you can look back and see that you emailed the customer, or you can see it was automatically confirmed, or you can see it was manually done. All these notes are automatically done, but you can add your own notes to the records here. So it keeps a long running note and record of what happened in the booking, so that if anything happens in the future, you can research back and see the action that was taken, and then we can find out if there's an issue with something. All right? Hopefully that's pretty clear at that point. Like I say, some of this you may have to rewind and go back over, but I'm hoping you're finding this quite logical as we're progressing through. Now, the email, when you've clicked that link down the bottom to email the client here, this is what it looks like, okay? So when you're emailing directly from the database to the customer, to the guest, this is what it looks like. Please present this to your hotel on arrival. Payment by guest at the hotel. That will change. If you've got a prepaid booking and you've set that up under Edit Destination and Edit Hotel, if you've set it up as a prepaid hotel, that message will say that it's prepaid and payment needs to be taken. Okay, but this is going to the guest, okay, the customer, not the hotel. So this is just their own information. It reconfirms their booking information, the hotel's details. There's a link to the guest book. There's a link to the actual page of the hotel, phone number, whether breakfast is included, all this sort of good stuff. Terms and conditions, everything will be on here, sucked out of the Edit Hotel screen. That's why it's important that you fill that information in properly, because it's used right now on this confirmation. All right. Plus any additional information, such as what you wrote back here, any of that, those comments actually come out in this section here. All right. So pretty straightforward, hopefully. And then you press send at that point, and that goes straight to the customer. That's them done. They are done. Okay. Also, when we go into do the company, which is the hotel, you can add any requests like an upgrade or a sea view room, or I want to be near my friend's room or anything like that. You can add it all in there so that the hotel receives that and then can put in a request. Normally it's on a request basis or subject to availability at the time. But if you put comments in there, the hotels can action that. It could be someone's birthday. So that's a great thing to personalize the stay and make sure people feel like they're really being looked after because you've put it in there. Quite often, I will actually write in there that they're a VIP of Hotels TV. I want them to get looked after when they get to that hotel. So I want them to know that they're to treat them like a VIP. Okay? Now, some hotels will, some hotels won't. But if I write it there, there's a better chance than if I didn't. At least it brings it to their attention. Credit card number goes here. All right. Now the credit card number, if you remember, came in as an email. Okay, earlier in this section here. So what you do is you copy that. Okay, and then you paste it into here. Then you write your notes, any notes you want to put in the log, and then you click go, and it will go in here to the hotel, to the person that you have already set up in the edit hotel section. Their email will automatically be in that spot there. Any notes, okay, have come out there, additional info, and the credit card payment details have come out there. So then you click send and that goes to the hotel. So now we've done it. Now what happens is we've confirmed the hotel, we've confirmed the guest, and the status of the booking will now turn to green to say confirmed once we've done that process. Okay, once we've sent it to the hotel, the status will change and that will then become, I don't think we had a green, that green color there to say confirmed. Okay, so hopefully that's easy enough to follow at this point. Okay, and remember, once that's done, to go back in to the incomplete section here, give the hotel half a day or a day to get the confirmation back. You know, it might take, normally it's within a few hours, if that. The hotels are very quick on getting it into their system because their job is to take bookings and it's going to the sales of the reservations department. So they'll come back to you pretty quickly with an email with a number, and you can either go back in to edit that booking like I've shown you already, into the booking, into the customer, into the booking and edit, or you can just click on the incomplete screen and just go and type it in there and actually save it. Now this incomplete screen looks like this. So it's just a screen. It says the status was auto-confirmed, for example, and you would just add the number in there and click save at the bottom. So you can see this is there. You'll see the customer's name as well, and you just put the numbers in for each one. You can do a block like bulk, put the numbers in, click save, and that's it. The numbers automatically go onto every single booking in that edit section. So when you look in there next time, you'll see that number already populate, or you can type the name. Remember I said before, you know, if Sophie said it was confirmed, she's received it, and type her name in there, and the date. Hopefully you don't do too many of those because we'd much prefer an actual number, but it's possible. Just record something to make sure that you've had that contact, you've got that reassurance that that booking is now the hotel's responsibility. All right, so hopefully that's pretty straightforward. And here's an example of that. So if we go back into that screen, you'll see the hotel reference has already been populated there because we've added that in, or you've gone back into this screen, you've clicked the edit box over here on that page, and you've gone and manually added it and saved. That will also take it off that incomplete screen that we looked at before. When you go into this, it won't be there anymore because the system knows that you've done it. All right. So that's basically it. That's how you work this system. That's how you manage the bookings under there, and that's how you search those particular bookings as well. So in summary, there are two ways to book. One is via the website, and the other one is a manual booking via the admin system. And the more you get involved with the bookings and dealing with customers, the more I think you're going to find the manual aspect pretty simple and easy to do, rather than you having to take the credit card. You can. I mean, if you know the availabilities in the website, you can just take the customer's details over the phone and go and make that booking on the website for them. If the availability is there, confirmations are automatically distributed. Everyone's got a copy and it's done. You can do that as well. But personally, if I'm adding a new customer, I like to go in and create the customer first, and then add the booking so I can actually personalize the information, add comments about the customer, and really set it up for the future. So if I ever need to go and look at that customer again, I can do that. And I can then add in room names, and I can add in all these sorts of things. You can still add in room names, especially if you're doing multiple rooms through the website. It asks you for each name and each room type as you go along as well. Hopefully that's pretty clear. Okay, just as a recap, each customer has a hotel booking screen, you know that. They have different drop-down status boxes, you know that. You can either create it new, or you can see the existing one made by the hotel booking done through the website. Confirm, amend, or cancel. Reconfirm with the hotels and add the number. Confirm or amend and cancel. Do that to the hotel and do that to the guest, and then reconfirm with the hotel once they've got it. Just remember, they're pretty easy. They're very quick to do, but it's good habits to be in, because you're double checking yourself, and then you will have no problems because the booking you know is accepted by the hotel. Make sure you always view your booking screen. Have a look at that hotel booking screen. Keep it open, especially once your bookings start to come in. It's a great way to keep an eye on what's happening with your business. And remember the rules. What you do to one, you do to the other. I'm not going to go through it again. It's there on the screen. But if you do to one, you do to the other. All right. Well, that brings us to the Q&A section. I hope you found that interesting and demystifying, I think, because this is probably the most complicated part of the business, and it's only because it's got a lot of flexibility to how you manage bookings and how you do amendments and cancellations. But actually, when you look at it, hopefully you see that it's pretty simple. You confirm a booking, you amend a booking, or cancel a booking. That's it. And as long as you record it and confirm it and send it and double check it, you're absolutely fine. That's it. And that's where you're making your money out of bookings. So it's important that you know everything's recorded. So a couple of takeaways for you for this week. You've got your online bookings. You can also do online request bookings as well as auto bookings. And remember, that can be very handy. So you can, hopefully you can see how now you're starting to manipulate the system to be a sales tool for you to get more bookings by changing things to on request at the last minute, going back like our marketing last week. You're then remarketing back through the event organizer and getting further promotion, and you're able to do that by understanding the different status of the booking process and the rates, so that you can encourage more bookings even last minute, right up onto the day. We do bookings right up to 5, 6, 7 o'clock on the day of arrival, because of that flexibility we have with the on request function. So it's very good. You could bang another 5 or 6 bookings, which could make you another $100 to $500, $1,000, depending on how big they are, just even on the day of arrival, if you're switched onto that. Manual bookings, obviously they're great. Confirm and then cancel, send the customer and a hotel always, send to the customer and hotel, double check and enter the hotel confirmation. I think you've got it. I think you've got it now. So bookings, managing reservations is what we've been doing. If you have any questions, please ask. Okay, we've just got some loading up at the moment. One of the questions coming in is sorry, let me just read that. Okay, what do we do when entering a group? Okay, so when you enter a group, you will set up the customer as a lead name first. So you only want one lead to be the customer. If you don't have a customer's name, you can actually put the name of the company in the customer's name. That doesn't matter. And then you'll know if you've got 10 bookings for that group, 50 bookings, 100 or 1,000, whatever it is, the number of rooms. What you then have to do is make sure you set up the availability under the hotel first, and then go in and add the bookings room by room. So for example, if they want 10 twin rooms, you can actually just set it up once and just actually put in one line, 10 twin rooms, and where the guest area was, let me see if I can take you back in and show you that. Okay, so in this area, you would actually add the hotel as here. This would say instead of double room, well, that double room is fine, you would have 10 double rooms there. And that would say, people would say 20, and it would have the total money. And in the edit screen, let's go back into here. Okay, in this edit screen that we've got here, okay, under the guests details here, you can actually put in the 20 guest names. And then you can email that off to the hotel. So you don't necessarily have to go and create a room for each, although you can. Sometimes it's easier for the customers to receive a confirmation for each individual booking because they might be forwarding that confirmation on to the individual guest staying in that room. Okay, your temptation will always be to do the least amount of work. And so the best way to do that would be to actually say, there's twin rooms. We're going to have 20 rooms, so there's now 60 people, and we'll go into that other screen and we'll put in the guest names here. But if then the client says, no, we need a confirmation for each room because each person is going to pay for their own room, then what you need to do is then change that from that group room and enter all these rooms individually as you see here. So enter one there, one room for people, and then add the individual guest names. Add another one here, tick that box, individual guest names. And then from each one, dot each box, mail the client, mail the hotel. So there's variables around how you can do it. You could just block them in when you first start for speed. 20 rooms, 60 people, there's the guest list, send it off to the hotel, confirm, gone. And then before you actually confirm anything back to the guests, you can then split them up after that point into the different rooms and then do it. So it depends how much time you've got. If you really want to secure that booking with the hotel fast, you might not want to spend too much time splitting them all into individual rooms. It doesn't take too long. if you've got the availability already set up in your system, it's quite quick to do. But what I've been trying to tell you all along is that the system is flexible enough to work on things different ways. And remember that this was built on live booking clients, and live booking clients want things different ways. So we had to build it with the flexibility in mind that you could either do it as a group or you do it as individual rooms and add to the profiles. So hopefully that's answered your questions for you. That's the end of our Q&A session. Remember, next week we have a week of refreshing on everything that we've done so far. And we're also going to highlight some of the great things our agents are working on. So you can start to see the practical side now of all this work coming together, and how it's turning into bookings and turning into revenue for the agents that are actually doing it. So we're going to compile a few things. I'll be in touch with some of the agents to do that before the next session. Okay, but everything, if you look at this that we've done so far, the first week was on clients, the next week was on hotels. So we got the clients, we then went and got the hotels, we created the PBA and put it all together. We've marketed through the linking to the event website and through doing some social media. Now the bookings have started to flow. We've now actually begun receiving bookings and processing the bookings. So essentially this area here is the whole backbone of this business that we've now covered through these training modules. The rest of what we're going to do now is we're going to have a refresher next week, and then we're going to really talk about repeating this process that we've actually worked on for these first 5 chapters. And then following that, we're going to work on business development, how we find more clients, how we do more bookings, how we get better at what we're doing. But it's going to be based around the initial 5 main sessions that we've covered. And then we're going to talk about how we can make it better by using technology and using a CRM and automating our marketing processes. And then at the end is a graduation where we discuss successes once again, and what comes after that, and how we keep you informed, and what the future is beyond that process, and just how we get better at what we do. So hopefully you're enjoying the series so far. Remember, once this webinar finishes now, you'll be prompted or prompt with another screen that will allow you to register for next week's event. And every week it's the same thing. So as soon as I switch this off, and as soon as you exit out of this platform, please register for the next week. And then you're already registered in the system. We'll be sending out the video, and we'll be sending out the reminders as usual. So thank you. Thanks for your attendance once again. Hopefully you found it, like I said before, really interesting, but also demystifying about how to process these bookings when they come in. It's pretty straightforward once you get your head around it, and that's the thing that's going to make you money. So thanks, and bye for now. Have a good week.